Assassin's Creed was in my opinion an overlooked gem. Despite its painfully repetitive gameplay structure, it was one of the most gorgeous looking games for its time, and the story was well presented and immersive. Assassin's Creed 2 was everything that a player wanted from a sequel, continuing from the events of the first game. The epic story and beautiful art design returned, and all of the fun stuff of its predecessor remained intact, whilst everything players hated or disliked was either scrapped or drastically improved. Ubisoft pretty much reinvented the wheel as far as sequels go, and therefore Assassin's Creed 2 was, in my opinion, one of the best games of the year for 2009. 1 year later, and Assassin's Creed Brotherhood has been released for fans worldwide to lap up. Brotherhood serves as a mild continuation of Assassin's Creed 2, and as far as sequels go, it had little to improve on, yet a fucking shitload to live up to. So with that in mind, is Assassin's Creed Brotherhood worth checking out, or is it simply more of the same? Let's find out. Following suit to previous games in the series, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood contains two subplots that make up the overall story. Directly leading off from the events of its predecessor, Brotherhood places players yet again in the shoes and boots of Desmond Miles and Ezio Auditore da Firenze in the battle raging between the Assassins and the Templars in both the present day and throughout Renaissance Italy centuries ago. After defeating Rodrigo Borgia, Ezio returns to his Uncle Mario's villa for some well-earned rest and relaxation. This is of course short-lived, as the villa is promptly attacked by Rodrigo's son, Cesare, as well as an army capable of destroying the villa. Ezio's uncle is unfortunately killed in the attack, and Ezio of course sets out on a quest for revenge against Cesare and the entire Borgia family.
So consider this an invitation from my family to yours!
As in previous Assassin's Creed titles, the story in Brotherhood is excellent. It is told in such a way that players will feel so close to Ezio that you will practically feel the same emotions, reactions, desires, and intentions as he does. You will yearn for revenge, like and hate characters, and begin questioning other characters around you just as Ezio does throughout the game. The story is brimming with great character development and numerous unexpected twists and mystery. My only complaints would probably be that the game can at times become a little confusing for some, and the mystery can be a little bit frustrating, and secondly, the game doesn't necessarily advance the overall plot of the series as far as I expected.
You condemn what you do not understand.
These are really small dents in an otherwise amazing story that will have you hankering for more. Many people have referred to Brotherhood as Assassin's Creed 2.5, but please don't dismiss it just yet. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is an open-world action-adventure title, and as such, it contains a bucket load of things for players to do at all times. There is of course the story-driven missions, which are great on their own, but also a number of side quests available also, including the usual synchronization of viewpoints, treasure hunting, side missions for various guilds including thieves, mercenaries, courtesans, and Ezio's returning friend Leonardo da Vinci. Aside of these, players can just wander around, pick fights with strangers and armed guards, which is also a huge amount of fun. For example, numerous Borgia towers tower over Rome, and the Borgia influence in those areas causes shops to remain closed and life to downright suck in those areas. Players can locate these towers, kill the captain that controls them, and burn the fuckers down. Now by doing this, the shops can be purchased and renovated, allowing Ezio to increase his income as well as buy armour, weaponry, medicine, and other helpful services. There are a number of these towers spread throughout Rome, and although you may think by hearing this that it's the same thing over and over, it's actually not, as each tower has a different level of difficulty associated with it, requiring players to utilise different strategies, usually consisting of either stealth or an upfront assault. It's entirely up to you. All of the activities featured have the capacity to swallow up hours and hours of your time, so much so that it will more than likely take players any time between 15 and 30 hours to complete this game, and even longer if they want to completely beat the game 100%. I did find some missions to become a little bit repetitive over time, sadly, and I have to say that if the game asked me one more time to discreetly tail someone, I was going to go fucking crazy. But aside of that, the missions for the most part seem to have plenty of variety and felt fresh and different. Now, although it is true that this game has been referred to as Assassin's Creed 2.5, Brotherhood makes a variety of gameplay changes and implementations that make its predecessor look very dated indeed. Firstly, the combat system has been improved dramatically, making each epic fight feel fluent and downright awesome. The executions look epic and will definitely put a smile on your face. I mean, you can fucking stab someone with your sword and then shoot them in the fucking face! Ezio's counterattacks will actually kill enemies, and Ezio now has the ability to chain executions together to take out numerous guards almost simultaneously. So unlike in Assassin's Creed 2, where you would flee from 10 plus guards, in Brotherhood the combat is so much better that you will pretty much be looking for a fight and fleeing will be a mere memory. In an effort to remove the tiresome monotony of travelling from point A to point Z from its predecessor, Ubisoft have included some new features to reduce the amount of travelling required to get to places. Firstly, you can ride your horse anywhere, whether it be in open fields or through busy streets, and secondly, a tunnelling system has been included allowing players to warp to a number of tunnel entrances that can be unlocked throughout Rome, making long tiresome journeys on foot a thing of the past. Now, probably my most favourite feature of the game is that Ezio can now recruit a number of assassins to fight alongside him, in a feature known as the Assassin's Guild. Players can use their assassins to discreetly take out guards or key targets, or simply just fight alongside them. They can be called at almost any time, and every time you use them for something they gain XP. They can be also sent out on contracts throughout Europe to earn additional experience points, and as they gain these points they can be upgraded with improved armour and weaponry. Additionally, as your assassin recruits level up, they become much more efficient in combat, almost to the point where they're just as good as Ezio himself. They can die, however, which can be sad at times, as you can literally have them with you right throughout your Brotherhood experience. The game also incorporates challenges associated with every memory sequence, where in order to achieve 100% synchronization, you have to meet certain criteria. For example, for one mission it may be do not take any damage, or kill your target with one of your recruited assassins, etc. This does add replay value to the game for those people that want to complete it 100%, but for the more casual, not so compulsive gamers out there, it may be a little bit disheartening to finally complete a difficult mission only to be told that you only did it half right. So I guess to put it simply, the single player component alone in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is well worth the recommended retail price. I mean, to put it to you this way, I completed the single player campaign over a week ago and I'm still fucking playing it. New to the Assassin's Creed franchise is a new online multiplayer inclusion, in which players can test their stealth skills against human-controlled opponents online. I was admittedly very skeptical about this inclusion, as I just couldn't see how it would work. Thankfully, I was proved completely wrong. Brotherhood's online multiplayer encompasses a variety of game modes in which players can team up against other teams or just fight for themselves. Out of the game modes available, by far the most addicting and the most played is the Wanted mode. Now, I won't go into a great detail here because I have already uploaded a few gameplay commentaries explaining the ins and outs of how this works, but I will pop the links in the description. In short, it places up to 8 players in a variety of settings, and each player's role is to assassinate an enemy player, whilst at the same time having someone on the hunt for them. Therefore, players must strategize and use discretion to kill their targets, but at the same time avoid their pursuers. This is great fun and allows players to really think about how they should approach each assassination, as one wrong move could mean instant death. Throw in a leveling system, as well as a number of useful perks to make you a more efficient killer, as well as a custom class creation option, and you have one addicting online experience that will bring a new meaning to the phrase, just one more game. Now, the game can be a little frustrating at times though, like a poor connection speed will likely completely ruin any chances you have of winning, and a lot of players, including myself, will rage when they are unexpectedly killed from behind, just as they are about to kill their own target. Oh, come on! Ah, shit! Fuck! Moving on to the presentation, Brotherhood visually is a beautiful game. Model detail is exquisite and the environment throughout Rome looks authentic and downright breathtaking. I particularly like how much attention to detail was paid to the world-renowned Colosseum. It looks amazing, almost like a postcard. Animation is also awesome, complementing every one of Ezio's movements, ranging from combat to racing across rooftops and scaling huge buildings and landmarks. The in-game cutscenes are wonderful and the visual style alone held my interest, and I just couldn't wait for the next cutscene. On the negative side, the game does have to load a fair bit, which can be a tad boring at times, and a few minor bugs here and there prevent the game from being stellar in the graphical department. But these are minor issues that I cared almost fuck all about. I just mentioned them because it's a review, and I probably should. Voice acting is fantastic across the board, and Jesper Kid once again provides an epic soundtrack that complements every moment of the game.
What are you waiting for?
Assassin's Creed Brotherhood isn't as epic as its predecessor, but Assassin's Creed 2 was only epic because it had so much to improve on from the first Assassin's Creed, and it did so, leaving little room for improvement. So rather than completely changing a successful, enjoyable formula, Brotherhood delivers what players like, but at the same time making a number of changes to make the game even better. Just the changes to the combat system and the Assassin's Guild function alone sold me to this epic title. The story is essential for any Assassin's Creed fan, and the game's multiplayer is fresh and innovative, so on that count, I would wholeheartedly recommend this to anyone that is even remotely interested, as well as anyone who has played and enjoyed the first 2 games of this incredible franchise. Fuck, I can't wait for Assassin's Creed 3!